Exciting news, guys. Exciting times to be living in. The church, for centuries, since its inception, has gotten some very key things incorrect, doctrinal things wrong, their theology completely mixed up and messed up. We don't need our Bibles anymore. Fundamental concepts like marriage, the family, humanity, sexuality, God's very nature, God's very purpose, these types of things we don't need our Bibles for. We just need to tune into The View and catch people like Don Lemon, who has been authorized to speak on God's behalf and who has imparted his wisdom on us. So without further ado, let's dive into this. Welcome to the revolution. All right, so why don't we go ahead and just kick off here with a little hit that subscribe button, click that bell. You can get all kinds of great videos and content on this channel. We put stuff out on a regular basis, and we hope that it's blessing you. If you'd like to help us out with the old YouTube algorithms, you can give us a thumbs up and comment on the video. Comments especially, we really welcome those because they help us to kind of get your thoughts and maybe even direct some of the content itself. So we have been given a gift, I think. Just inside the mindset of some of the folks in popular culture. They use their platforms, they use the media, they use entertainment and these various things to push a very dangerous, satanic propaganda, and you'll hear it right now. You'll hear just easily coming out, blurted out, all of the right kind of flowery language. But if you listen, you will find that it is very dangerous. It's very actually a little bit scary. But we just have to laugh because if not, we will cry ourselves into oblivion. So what I'm going to play is a clip from Don Lemon. He is a CNN. They're not really news anchors. They don't really give news. He is a CNN star who went on The View. I guess he wrote a book recently. He went on The View to kind of promote the book, and they're asking him some different questions. And they ask about this this kind of official pronouncement that just went out recently from the Catholic Church regarding same-sex marriage and LGBTQ, all that stuff. So let's take a listen, and then we'll dive into it.
The Vatican has said that the Catholic Church won't bless same-sex unions, quote, since God cannot bless sin. They go on to say that this does not imply a judgment on persons, but I want to know, do you think this sends a damaging message, and how do you feel about that, given that obviously you are now engaged and going to get married?
Well, I think listen, I respect people's right to believe in whatever they want to believe in their God. But if you believe in something that hurts another person or that does not give someone the same rights or freedoms, not necessarily under the Constitution, because this is under God, I think that that's wrong. And I think that the Catholic Church and many other churches really need to re-examine themselves and their teachings, because that is not what God is about. God is not about hindering people or even judging people.
So, first of all, how does Don feel about this whole situation? It doesn't really matter how he feels. First of all, he's not Catholic, I don't think. But even if he were Catholic, the individual Catholic that maybe wants to indulge in some sin or whatever, it doesn't matter how they feel. I have a lot of respect for Catholics, true Catholics, people who really do live out their Catholic faith. I have a lot of disagreements and places where I think we might scripturally part ways, but I have a lot of respect for them. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that most Catholics realize that this kind of difference with the church kind of makes you not Catholic, okay? Now, I don't think he is Catholic. I don't think he's Christian or anything. The way he talks, whatever you kind of believe and this kind of stuff. But it doesn't matter. What does it matter how he feels? How do you feel about this pronouncement? Well, I mean, who cares how you feel? Who are you exactly? But it's interesting. He gives his opinion. Of course, he starts off and he says, look, I think people have the right to kind of just believe whatever they want to believe. But you know what's coming, right? There's a but coming. The but actually negates everything he just said, right? Like if I said, oh, I just absolutely love the color pink and I just love it so much, it's amazing, but I never wear it. I don't think you should wear it. I think we should actually obliterate it completely. Those don't go together. The second half of that completely negates the first part. And that's exactly what he does. He says what he knows he's supposed to say, which really, given the forum, given the way the culture is going, he probably doesn't even really have to say this anymore. But he's just paying lip service to like freedom of speech, freedom of religion, which of course most of these folks, they don't want freedom of speech. They don't want freedom of religion. And you can tell by what he says next. He says, oh, yeah, I definitely believe, people can have whatever beliefs they want. But those beliefs really need to line up with what I believe. I, Don Lemon, have decreed it, and this is what you need to believe. So you can have any belief you want as long as it lines up with this. I mean, that's basically what he said, right? I mean, you heard it. You can go back and play it again. But he really is. He says, but it's wrong to hold certain beliefs. Anybody can have any belief they want, but it's wrong to believe certain things. So he actually believes in some kind of absolute right and wrong, I guess, because, pure relativism would say, well, this person's idea is fine for them and that person's idea is fine for them. But old Don here is saying there's an actual, this is the way people should be. And he actually goes as far as to say that the Catholic Church that has been around how long? Okay, centuries upon centuries, they should go and rethink their firmly held religious beliefs, because Don Lemon is now here and he feels bad about this pronouncement. Now, let's be clear. The Catholic Church has always thought the same thing about same-sex unions, marriage, homosexuality. They haven't changed their position. And what this is these folks on The View, Don Lemon, people like this, they are upset that the Catholic Church won't bend to the cultural pressures and change its stance. That, again, you can believe what you want to believe, but what you believe needs to bend in accordance with what society thinks it should. That's what is that? That's not freedom of religion. Freedom of religion is we can practice religion in the way that we see fit. This guy is advocating actually, no, you should go back and rethink it and then come back to what I think. And then it's amazing. He kind of goes from, this is what I feel and what I think, which again, you can think whatever you want and you're just dead wrong. But then he goes on and he's like, I'm going to now speak for God. I'm going to tell you how God really is. Oh, please. I'm going to stop right there and just drop everything I'm doing. I can't wait to hear a CNN host and the people on The View telling me what God is really like. I can't wait for this one. And he says a couple of things, right? God is not about hindering people. God is not about hindering people. I guess you missed all of those commandments in the 10 Commandments, the thou shalt nots, because every one of those nots is hindering people. What? Right? Don't murder, don't lie, don't steal. Those are all hindering people. Okay? Maybe he's never read the 10 Commandments. I really don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't know the 10 Commandments, but I don't know. God is not about hindering people. Which God are you talking about? God's not about judging. Come again? God's not about judging. God's not about judging. Which book of the Bible are you referencing? Because he just got done talking about Catholics and churches, right? They're the ones that need to change. So here's what I would think just after kind of watching that clip. I would step back because obviously he's an intelligent guy. It doesn't mean he's very wise or that kind of thing. But I mean, just kind of natural intelligence. He's probably an intelligent guy. I don't know him at all, but I would just presume. And so he must realize there's a thing called the Bible, and that the people adhere to this and believe this. And I can't imagine that he doesn't realize the Bible shows God in the light of he judges. So what I presume is he is saying, yeah, all that God of the Bible stuff, that's not God. That's all fake. Y'all need to go back to the drawing board and rethink what God is really like. And I'll just tell you, right, God doesn't hinder people. God doesn't judge people. What God is he serving? I mean, I know that in Satanism, do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. So do whatever you want. There's no judging there. There's really no hindering there either. But I'm not sure that's the God we want sort of governing our nation and being the cultural norm. But it certainly sounds like that's the kind of God Don Lemon wants, is just people can do whatever they want, just because God doesn't hinder people and he doesn't judge people. So a little messed up there, and it's interesting. He his solution. He goes on later on in the interview, and he talks about people just need to go get to know each other. People in churches and Catholics and different things and different people, they need to get out there and just meet people and get to know people. What are you talking about? Like, I think methinks this is projecting. This is like a self-projection. He's projecting himself onto them. I don't think that Don Lemon gets around, rubs shoulders with very many conservative, kind of staunch, true Catholics or Christians who really hold to like the inerrancy of Scripture and these types of things. I'd like to hear the list of people that Don Lemon knows on a personal level that falls into that category. Here's why I say that. Because I know tons of people who are they do not believe in same-sex marriage. They do not believe that LGBTQ, all that stuff is scripturally sound, that God is okay with it. And yet these people know plenty of homosexuals. I know plenty of people that are not straight. Okay? They're gay. I know plenty of people, folks that are married to gay folks, right? I personally know people. And I have nothing, again, on a personal level, nothing against them. I don't hate them. I don't, but I do vehemently disagree with their theology if they believe God is okay with this or whatever. So I have done that, and I know many, many, many people that's their kind of their story. They know lots of people like this, and they still hold to the biblical scriptural understanding. So I'm not sure who Don Lemon is talking about. These people need to get out there and meet people. I think he's talking about himself. He thinks that because he doesn't know any of these people, he doesn't get out there and meet people, he assumes that the other side is like that too. Not true. So don't project, Don. I think you need to get together with people and hear maybe some scriptural arguments, if that's even the God you're trying to, I don't know what your take is on that. But if you're talking about God of Scripture, I think we need to go through maybe have a little Bible study on God being a judge and the fact that he does actually hinder people. But, right, even if that's the case, nobody gets together, nobody knows anybody, nobody talks, none of that. No personal relationships, none of that stuff. Even if that's true, if we got together, what is he assuming? He's assuming if we get together and get to know people, we'll all come over to his side of thinking, his way of thinking. Don, I'm really scared now. Are you saying that you don't know people that have strong disagreements with you on very key issues? Are you saying you don't know people? All the people you get together and get to know, they all see things exactly? That's called an echo chamber. That's called groupthink, right? I mean, I was 3 years into school or something, and we had discussions about this in my organizational behavior class about how groupthink is so dangerous and this kind of thing. I think maybe you need to go take a class like that and realize that groupthink is dangerous. It actually can get people killed. And I think that's what you're suffering from because, again, I think your assumptions are wrong. The people especially on the side of Christianity and Catholicism and the Abrahamic religions and just people that don't think homosexuality is good for society, whatever. I think they do know people and they get along with people that are different than them. But giving you the premise and saying, okay, let's move on in the conversation. I'll just say that nobody gets together, nobody knows anybody. Even if they did get to know each other, that doesn't mean they won't walk away with differences. Walk away with, I still disagree. And I think your idea of getting to know somebody is you have to become part of the hive mind. You got to melt in, assimilate like the Borg. You got to, it's assimilation, right? I think that's what your idea is. I think that's a little bit scary. It's a little bit telling of the whole liberal, left-wing, democratic, like that way of thinking. Like that way of thought is if we have differences that are like this, then you need to assimilate into get to know me, right? But this isn't the first time that Don Lemon has spoken on behalf of Jesus and the Bible. And I'll use Jesus and God interchangeably. Jesus is God interchangeably here. So let's watch this clip where Don Lemon gives us some very interesting insights into the theology in the Bible and just shaking up the Christian world. Take a listen.
If that's who you believe in, Jesus Christ, admittedly was not perfect when he was here on this earth.
All right. See, I mean, Don is getting some serious revelation from somewhere. Not sure if it's from the God of the Bible. Certainly not Jesus, because kind of the point of Jesus is that he was perfect. Kind of the point. Jesus, admittedly, was not perfect. What? What? Getting back to my original thing about getting to know each other and stuff. What? I'll say Orthodox. I'll use that term a little bit loosely. What Orthodox Christians do you know? What Orthodox Catholics do you know? There isn't a single Christian or Catholic that knows anything about the Bible that would say that Jesus was not perfect. Even people who don't believe Jesus was God, right? The Unitarians, for instance, right? They don't believe he was God. They believe he was the Messiah. They believe he was, my understanding of what they believe, he was human, but he was given all of the kind of divine attributes. In other words, he could forgive sins, so that what he did do that. He could heal. He could do these things, but he was not deity. They don't believe he was God, and they still would say, yes, he lived a perfect life. What are you talking about, Don? I think the only one in an echo chamber is you and all the people on The View, and people, frankly, people tuning in and watching The View. If you watch The View, please stop. This is coming from a news-related thing. I don't watch The View. Are you kidding me? The View? Really? Anyway, I'm not judging. I believe people should be able to watch whatever they want, but stop watching The View and stop watching CNN and Don Lemon. Well, if they can do it, I can do it too, right? Everybody should be able to watch whatever you want, but you better not be watching CNN and The View. Just have a little fun there. But again, what is he talking about? This is ridiculous. Of course, Jesus was perfect unless Scripture is completely just absolutely incorrect. What evidence do you have? No, you just make these statements. And this is this whole thing with Don Lemon. He just makes statements. You know, centuries and centuries of the Catholic Church, they come out and just reaffirm what they've already believed, that this is nothing new. And then, like, you know, Don Lemon and those like him, he's just a representation of the whole, you know, leftist cultural Marxism, all this thing, you know, just they just come out and just make proclamations. And I mean, there's no evidence. He's not going to the Scriptures and saying, here's where we see that Jesus wasn't perfect, or here's where we see that God doesn't judge people, because I don't know if there's a page in the Bible that you could go to that you would get that from. Maybe, I don't know, it's craziness. So, you know, he's just, again, right, speaking on behalf of God, but I think he is with a little g, though. I think the God that he's speaking on behalf of is the God of critical theory, the God of socialism, the God of leftism. And I would go as far as to say that God is the same God that says, do as thou wilt. It's the same attitude, the same mindset. Again, he speaks for it. He says God doesn't hinder people. That means you can do what you want. So you can take it for what it's worth. Now, he's not the only one, though. You might say, well, he's just kind of in the media. He's a entertainment kind of guy, infotainment kind of guy. Really is kind of what it is, giving you some information and mostly entertainment. But Don is not the only one, though. Okay, you could say, well, he doesn't speak for the Democratic Party. He doesn't speak for leftism, whatever. He doesn't have any political power. But let's watch this clip from someone who does have a little bit of political power, and what their take is on this whole thing with the Catholic Church and where they stand. Go ahead and take a listen.
The president's a devout Catholic. Does he have a personal response to that?
I don't think he has a personal response to the Vatican, no. He continues to believe and support same-sex unions, as you know, and he's long had that position.
Let's just get this straight. Catholicism believes in the authority of the church. I mean, that's what an Orthodox, that's what Catholics believe. The church has held this position since forever. But Joe Biden, who is a devout Catholic, completely in the opposite camp. He is in total and complete contradiction to his supposed Catholic faith. Not just on this issue either. He is pro-abortion. These are two of the major, again, cultural issues. We're not getting into, the deity of Christ and different theological beliefs. These are I guess family. You could make you see what I'm saying though. Family, one of the absolute pivotal structures, right? The first institution God ever made. This is important stuff, right? The destruction and murder of unborn babies created in the image of God, right? This is important stuff. They're cultural things. They're just not. What I'm saying is we're not getting into the weeds of theological nuance, okay? And he differs from he says, no, the Catholic Church is wrong. This is the way I see it. This is the way I believe it. What? What kind of Catholic is that? What kind of Catholic is that? I mean, that's like me, say I'm an airline pilot. Oh, well, you fly commercially, or do you, no. Okay. You part of the? Are you part of this? Do they have unions? I think they do. Let's just say they do. You're part of the pilots union, and no. Okay. Do you fly at all? No, I've never been behind, the control mechanisms of a plane, but I am a pilot. You fly helicopters or something? No. What kind of a pilot are you? Well, I'm the kind that I made up. I'm a pilot. That's what he's doing. I'm a Catholic. A Catholic that absolutely flies in the face and slaps the church in the face and completely goes in the opposite direction of some of the key pronouncements and key beliefs that, handed down over the centuries, that is not a Catholic. That's not Christian either, right? So again, these folks, take Joe Biden, very popular guy, right? Political power, this kind of thing. You got Don Lemon, who speaks much for the culture at large, the left-wing liberal side of things. These guys are, they are speaking, and they're in the same camp, and they're basically saying the same thing. We decide. We can speak on behalf of God. I can tell you that, yes, I am a Catholic, even though the Catholic Church holds these beliefs. No, I'm a Catholic, though, and I believe this. What are they doing? They're fashioning things in their own image. They're fashioning things according to what they want to believe. I mean, this is, and this is nothing new. This is nothing new. This goes all the way back. You take Cain and Abel. This goes all the way back to original mankind, fashioning things in the way they want to see. Cain didn't say, I reject God completely. He said, Abel, you can believe what you want to believe, and I respect your belief, but I'm going to offer this to God. This is what I intend to do. This is how I want to worship God. This is about me. This is what I choose to do. I don't want to do that. I want to do this, and God better just accept it. That was basically his attitude, and that's basically what these guys are doing too. So there's nothing. I mean, nothing has changed in millennia, right? Nothing has changed. So what I think we need to do is we need to realize that we need to speak out. We need to stand firm in what we believe. We need to be loving. I don't think it's right to be spiteful and vengeful and hateful, because what that does is you have a bunch of truth, but then you put a bunch of nasty slop and muck over the truth. I think we do need to have, our as Scripture says, our speech needs to be seasoned with salt. I think we need to be wise as serpents, absolutely, but we need to be harmless as doves. And that doesn't mean let people walk all over us, but it means we're not going to go to the point of unnecessarily hurting people. We can be firm, and the truth hurts, but let it be the truth that hurts, not our attitude, name-calling, stuff like that. But we do need to stand firm. We need to stand firm. Christians need to stand firm. Catholics need to stand firm. Mormons need to stand firm. Muslims need to stand firm. Anybody who does not believe in this onslaught, this wave of do as thou wilt, God is just this whatever I decide and make it to be, and we need to, all of you who have these differing beliefs need to rethink your positions and come on over and assimilate. Resistance is futile. Become part of the hive mind. I think this is, we have differences. I have differences between folks of the LDS faith, Catholics, Muslims, but where we do agree, we need to unite, and we need to push against the onslaught of soft totalitarianism that is rising up in this country. So we need to continue to pray for people like Don Lemon and Joe Biden and these folks. Of course, the Bible says pray for your leaders, so we should be praying for the president no matter who it is, our senators, things like that. But we need to stand firm and be brave. We need to stand firm and stand against this nonsense. And one way to do that is to comment, like this video, and share it. You may not make videos like this, but you want to get this message out, so please help us out and do so. Subscribe, hit that bell, and we will catch you on the next video.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed that content from BreadBreakers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Definitely follow us on social media. We're going to throw up a couple of suggestions here on the screen for things that we think you might enjoy. As always, God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next video.